And then, Dave, the last thing, switching sports, but keeping on the coaching search.
Yeah.
Your team, I know your mom's team too, because your mom's a super fan. White Sox manager search.
Yeah.
Got some things to set up before I throw the question at you.
Sure.
There have been tons of dialogue in the Discord. Join it! Discord. Sam and Pat were the ones that kind of started it. Of like, where did they go when Rick Renteria was mutually agreed to part ways with the White Sox? One thing that is for sure that this is coming from SouthsideShowdown.com, and they're getting it from Rick Hahn's press conference. So that's where it's curated from. In his end of the season press conference, GM Rick Hahn wouldn't comment on any attributes that would make him hire someone, and he wouldn't name anyone that could be in consideration. All of that came with one exception, as he announced that Ozzie Guillen will not be somebody they consider for the job. He noted that Guillen has been notified about that decision out of respect for him. I know that fans were really much of like, that was the big thing of like, oh, do they actually go ahead and sign Ozzie Guillen?
Bring him back.
What are your thoughts, Dave? Should they have? Who should be the manager? What do you think's going on here?
No, I mean, like, I totally understand why we're not going back to Ozzie Guillen. That makes sense. We've been there. We've done that. We know how this ends. Mm-hmm. Not well. He's an easy to like guy when he's on your side, but he will say some dumb shit. Mm-hmm. He will make some dumb decisions, and he gets too heated with his own players. Yeah. And those personal issues do transfer over on the field into some decisions that get made. So I don't need Ozzie Guillen in my clubhouse. Yeah. Now, when I look at the rest of the guys, obviously we have a known cheater. At the top of many.
Two of them.
Two known.
Don't forget Alex Cora too.
Alex Cora too. Uh-huh. So Hinch or Cora obviously are at the top of a lot of people's list because I was notable, great coaches. But like the question is, how much is them? How much was banging on cans?
Yeah.
Or do you go with the local route, a la the Cubs, and go after a former player of your own? Although I think Alex Cora might have played. Alex Cora's been around way too long.
Alex Cora was with the Mariners.
He's been around for. I know he was with the Mariners because I remember playing him in King.
So okay, Dave, let's play the game of he has played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams.
There we go.
We were not thinking of the right Cora. He did not play with the.
Okay. Different
Who's
Cora.
the one I'm thinking of then? Because he played. Didn't a Cora play shortstop next to A-Rod?
I thought so.
I got a Cora Mariners. I gotta look this up on the Joey Cora. That was Joey Cora. Joey Cora was a White Sox. Joey Cora was a White Sox and then went to the Mariners. Yep. Joey Cora was actually. Wait, I gotta look that up again. He was actually a fucking manager of the White Sox. Yeah, he was White Sox coach from 04 to 11 as well. That was his first job as a coach. But no, Alex Cora was a Dodger 98 to 04. Then with the Indians for a year before going over to Boston, where he was there for 05 to 08. Yep. Then he was with the Mets for a year, the Rangers for half a year, and then the Washington Nationals in 2011. He was with Houston as a assistant coach in 2017, then got the job with Boston. So pretty much all those cheaters coming from that Houston job or that Houston situation with AJ Hinch.
You see, I like Przinsky though. I mean, he's such a likable guy. Yeah. Took a punch for the team, as I said in Discord. How do you not respect a guy like that? You as a Cubs fan, how do you feel about going after your former guy in the locker room, the guy who brought the team together as your manager? After a year, I know it's not been long, but how do you evaluate that hire? Would you recommend that the Sox would do something similar?
Not right now. And the reason why is, so I look at this team and it goes, and yet again, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm closer to the Cubs than the White Sox, so I understand the Cubs better. But like right now, all the guys like Javi, Bryant, Rizzo, these guys aren't we're no longer looking at this Cub team as like, oh man, look at this young group of kids. Yeah, they're established now. They're an established core to where it's like we needed a Madden to come in and will that like bring this team to where they could be, bring them up to that level, and also work with them and coach them to their potential. Whereas right now it's like with David Ross, we just need someone to be a player's coach to keep everything in line. We don't really need someone that is
job
going
at hand. You don't need guidelines. You know, it's
these
just,
players
hey,
know what to do. They're
track.
not kids.
Okay.
But like with the White Sox, I feel like you need that. Here's the problem though: there's no Joe Madden out there to where it's like the closest.
Where's Joe Madden now?
Yeah, the closest Joe Madden like coach you have is like AJ Hinch. If it wasn't for the cheating scandal, he'd be the perfect guy you want. He's got experience bringing a young Houston team up with that established core, bringing them up to World Series greatness. Actually has playoff experience with that team. The only thing is how much, like you said, how much was attributing to we're going to bang trash cans and learn signs of players. Maybe not as much because, the Astros are in the ALCS right now. So, I mean, maybe some people...
They did incredibly well against a couple people at certain locations. Let's just put it that way.
For me, the AJ Przinsky thing is...
Too soon.
It's just a thing of you'd be copying exactly what the Cubs are doing, and I don't know if that's the right move right now. Although I don't think he'd be
on
bad.
The same track. We talked about this about a year, 2 years ago, and we were like, how did the Cubs get out of this rut when they were like, we're stuck in the middle? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to draft this way. We're going to attack free agency this way. We're going to get our pitching staff lined up. And we're going to have these amazing bats. And I was like, okay, cool. How do the Sox go ahead and just 5 years later, let's go ahead and let's just take that strategy and just try it here real quick. So I know we talked about it, and it's like following the Cubs plan isn't necessarily a bad idea. But I do agree. I, after hearing you talk and kind of work through it, I think I'm with you in the fact that AJ, well, he's got a great mind for baseball. I don't know that he's proven enough to be more than a player's kind of coach, or if he is just kind of one of those guys. I've heard him talk so much because he's been on air. He is so smart, but I don't know how he would be like in the moment, in the locker room, in the clubhouse, in the dugout kind of shit when it's on the line. Could he make that right call? So AJ Hinch, Przinsky, where did you go?
You know who would have been a great, and I had to look this up and actually, when did he agree to that extension? What's the date on the, literally. So, you know who would have been my perfect fucking guy if he didn't sign an extension in April of last year? Terry Francona. He would have literally been your Joe Madden in my mind. His contract was set to expire in 2020. Of course, that's all moot now because he has a 2-year extension through 2022. But like, he'd be like, that's the thing is like, is there a coach out there, like a manager out there that you don't want to tamper, but could a coach be like, I want to break my contract in order to go to this team? I don't think it happens. Like, we never see that. But like, that's the thing. The pool this year, or maybe it's because everyone is like forcing the pool to be so small. Like, if I had the choices of the 4 that I've seen, Jim Thome, AJ Przinsky, Alex Cora, and Hinch, I would go Hinch because he has the managerial experience. He has playoff experience. He has that World Series experience. He's got everything that you want for this job. The only thing that, yet again, him and Alex Cora should be shoo-ins for this, but it's just that dark cloud that hangs over their head, and like we can't bring it because like the Cubs with their timeline, I had to look it up, was Renteria. I feel like, and I said this in our Discord. If let's say the White Sox sign Hinch or sign Cora or even sign AJ, and that next manager brings them to the World Series and they win it, Rick Renteria is officially the good luck Chuck of the MLB because he is the coach you get when right after you want to sign that guy who's going to bring you to the ship. Because like the Cubs, he only had
Jackson of the NBA.
Yes, he only had 1 year with the Cubs, but like we had our core. Javi was there. Rizzo was there. Stalin Castro we thought would be our guy at shortstop of the future. Addison Russell, I believe, was in our minor leagues. That next year, we had drafted Chris Bryant. We knew that he was coming in for that. So it was like we knew we were going to have a good team. We didn't know that we'd go fucking NLCS in our first year with Joe Madden. Like, that was a surprise. But, like, I think basically because of how this year went for the White Sox, you guys overachieved. You overachieved everything just by making the playoffs. You overachieved. Yeah. And this is something that took a game. I mean, Rick Hahn does not have an easy job here, because this is, to me, this is the type of decision you either make the right choice, and this could be a World Series contender, or you make the wrong choice and you're just a playoff bottom, like, not a bottom feeder. That's not the word I want to use, but you're a playoff perennial, where it's like you make the playoffs and you don't go anywhere further than that.
Yep.
Any final thoughts, Dave?
No, I agree. I think any one of these guys will be able to get us back to the playoffs, though. I'm with you there. I think that I love Tomey, love Przinski, Cora, meh, honestly. Yeah. So, like, take the tenured coach. We'll go with the guy who's been there. I understand his history is not great, but at the same time, how long are you going to punch him for it? You know? Yeah. And I guarantee you, it's not all on him. He will take the blame because he was the coach, and that's totally fine. But it's not a one-man decision to do this to an entire team. Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't wait to see what the White Sox do, though, and where they go, because this is even though I'm a Cubs fan. This is a team that is just an exciting team to go. I will say. Sam hyped me up before the season started so much on this team, and now it's just like, shit, he was so right. Yeah. I will say, the one player on the White Sox I love the most is Tim Anderson, only because he's bringing fun back to baseball. He's the most exciting player in baseball. Hashtag make baseball fun again. What would that be? MBFA? Mumfa? So it's like... Mumfa? Yeah, make baseball fun again, Dave. MBFA. Right. I'm down for that. Because you got all these unwritten rules and shit that just make it so boring. And fucking stupid. But that's going to do it for MVP Sports Live today. Thank you guys for checking it out. Make sure to comment down below with anything we talked about today. Make sure to join the Discord, link down below, our exclamation Discord and Twitch chat. You can support us at patreon.com/MVPvids. You can also support us by throwing us a sub on Twitch. We're live here every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVPvids. We're also on YouTube at YouTube, or not at YouTube. We're on YouTube at MVP Sports. Dave and I will be back tomorrow for another great Thursday show. But as always, have a good day, everybody.